Hi guys, Max here, and this is your daily market update for yesterday, the 10th of May, and it was pretty crazy to be honest. It was absolutely insane actually. Markets themselves were a little bit volatile, but nothing too insane. What was really insane though were the moves in the crypto market with Luna and UST that we spoke a little bit about yesterday, absolutely blowing up. Yesterday it just took a whole other turn, it fell off a cliff even further. And the entire crypto sphere is kind of on fire, trying to work out what's going to happen next. We will, of course, cover that in due time. But first, what's just going on in the traditional finance space? Well, stocks were okay for the most part. There was no huge movements. There were no major gains or losses from most sectors. Tech did decently though, just some small swings to the upside. Pretty much nothing did well enough to erase the losses from the day before though. Energy was okay, with most stocks stable. Financials were quite poor, as were consumer defensives, industrials and real estate too. It really wasn't a great day, poor for most stocks, but that decent upward movement in the tech sector sort of hid it. The S&P 500 was up by 0.2%, the Nasdaq was up by 1.3%, and the Dow Jones fell by 0.3%. The rest of the world did okay actually, with Europe doing quite well. As you can see, the Stoxx 600 for example was up by 0.7% and the FTSE 100 up by 0.4%. The dollar continued its strong run as it has been doing for weeks now. For fixed income assets, for bonds, we saw prices rise actually, with yields falling slightly. Right now, the US 10-year yield is sitting just below the 3% mark at 2.99% after falling about 4 basis points yesterday. Oil prices fell slightly too, with WTI crude oil sitting pretty much exactly at $100 a barrel and Brent crude oil sitting at $105. Finally, gold prices continued their small decline, another 1.2%. Now gold is sitting at $1,836 an ounce, a very nice point to accumulate in my opinion. In the crypto space then, excluding Luna, because that's a huge topic all in and of itself, what actually happened? Well, crypto fell a very large amount. Bitcoin and Ethereum actually just dropped by another few percent each as I was preparing for this video. Right now, literally right now as I make this video, Bitcoin is sitting at $29,000 and Ethereum is at about $2,100, representing about a 10% decline over the last day. What happened for the rest of the market though, for the altcoins? Well, they did far worse, and they were down for the most part by 20 to 30%. XRP was down by 20%, ADA was down by 20%, Solana was down by 30%, Dogecoin was down by 30%. The crypto market really is crashing right now, still as I speak, so when you watch this, I almost guarantee that it will all be doing far better or far worse, probably the latter of those two. Luna and Terra, the UST, that whole network just blowing up is of course the trigger for all of this awful action. There are huge liquidations going on everywhere, loads of fear, loads of people leaving the market, loads of people have lost millions of dollars, billions of dollars of value has been lost as well. There are many lows for coins right now that we haven't seen in years. Put very frankly, it's a very bad day to have any money in crypto. So bad, in fact, that actually, yes, this video will be outdated no matter when you watch it. Even if you watch it the first minute that I put it out, it's going to be outdated because that is just how quickly this market is moving. Now, with markets looking so volatile right now in pretty much every sector and asset class, people are more than ever looking to alternatives, which is perfect timing because with unprecedented volatility and high inflation rates, JP Morgan recently stated that alternative assets are no longer optional for people and their investments. So to meet this increased demand for alternatives, fintech platforms are stepping up and giving people access to investments that they would have only dreamed of in the past. Now, one of them, and my personal favourite, offers a unique asset that's been long celebrated as a way to store wealth. In fact, the ultra wealthy have been using it for decades, and now 85% of wealth managers recommend that modern investors do the same. But where previously it's been far out of our price range, now it can be yours in a few clicks thanks to Masterworks. Now, Masterworks is a revolutionary investing platform that lets you become a stakeholder in multi-million-dollar artworks without needing millions to invest. And since I've started talking about them on this channel as a sponsor, they've been blown away by the response from you guys, with over 2,000 of you having signed up. Now, each of the 3 paintings that Masterworks have sold have returned over 30% net IRR to their investors. Now, legally, I have to add that past performance is no guarantee of future results, but 30+% is pretty amazing. If you want to join other Stoic Finance subscribers, it's as easy as clicking my special link in the description to skip their waitlist and get started on Masterworks. Now, regarding crypto and assets crashing in price, Luna and Terra has not done much better at all compared to yesterday. In fact, it's done a whole lot worse and the situation has just deteriorated so much further. It has collapsed. I hope this time people don't get angry at me using that term because I don't know what else you can call this sort of price action. A week ago, one Luna was worth about $90. In January, it was worth $116. Sounds great, right? Well, today, right now, as I say this, it's worth about $2. A week ago, $90, a day ago, $30, and today, $2. That is just total capitulation. That's a 99% drop from its all-time highs, a 98% drop from a week ago, and a 94% drop from yesterday. The crazy thing about this is the way that losses work is that a 99% loss is actually twice as bad as a 98% loss, and most people don't really realize this. But if you bought Luna at its all-time highs, it lost 32% of its value, then it lost another 63% of its value, then it lost another 94% of its value, and then it lost another 50% of its value. Even if you bought the dip yesterday thinking you were getting a deal, you still went on to lose 95% of your investment, and the people who bought it 4 months ago lost only a tad more at 99%. This is, of course, just an absolute total mess. If you want more on this, explaining what's actually going on in detail, then go and check out my video yesterday where I explain exactly why this is happening. For today, though, I'm just going to quickly explain why it's gotten worse overnight. Now, pretty simply, actually, Luna is a token that is used to create UST, the stablecoin. The problem is that there isn't enough money or capital behind Luna to back the entirety of that stablecoin. Because UST is therefore unbacked, its value is tanking, and because Luna's use case is based on the usage of UST as a coin, the value of Luna has also collapsed as well, even more so than the stablecoin. UST, the stablecoin, as I keep saying, is supposed to always be worth $1. Right now, it's trading at a value of about 40 cents. That is absolutely awful. It's like your dollars losing more than half of their value instantly. Total failure of the protocol. Billions of dollars worth of wealth here has been lost overnight. By my reckoning, it's probably around 45 billion or so in wealth lost from this specific crypto crash over the course of about 3 days. When you take into account the rest of the cryptos as well, we're probably looking at something in the region of 200 billion. Now, I don't know what else to say really, but this is the risk of crypto, of new technology. People get a little bit caught up in the idea of risk-free returns, but it literally never exists. Never. Since putting this video together though, actually, Luna has just lost another 60-70% of its value over the last hour. It's now sitting at about 80 cents per coin. Now, leaving that in the past and moving on to traditional finance once more, we have some earnings reports from some big companies that are worth checking out today. So we'll start off with EA, or Electronic Arts, and if you don't know, they make video games. They are absolutely huge, but they just missed their revenue forecast that missed analyst expectations. They were estimated to be seeing something around $1.45 billion worth of revenue, but they came in $200 million shorter than that, or they saw a miss by over 10%. This is mostly because they made a huge game called Battlefield 2042 that was supposed to be really successful, but it was just a massive flop and it's died really quickly. Earnings were actually up a little bit, $1.46 a share compared to $1.42 expected. So maybe the company is able to weather the storm when the market opens with no share price drop, but frankly, I seriously doubt that. We also have Palantir, that very popular company here on YouTube with very high growth and the potential to be a $1 trillion company in many people's eyes, but it's been struggling with share price declines over the last year, as has every other growth company. Well, they posted their earnings and they weren't really great. They posted a loss of $100 million last quarter, which is an improvement on the past, but worse than expected by analysts. Revenue is likely to slightly miss expectations as well, estimating about $470 million compared to $487 million priced in by analysts. Growth was about 16% last quarter, far better than analysts actually expected, but the lowest growth the company has seen so far, so not ideal. Now, the share price of Palantir on this earnings report, that is fine by my reckoning, but nothing good or bad really. It's dropped 23% now, and it's about 75% from its all-time highs. Next, we have Peloton to talk about, one of my favorite companies to cover because it's such a mess and was the most obvious bubble in the world. Of course, it's doing worse and worse every month now. Peloton posted a loss of $750 million compared to a $130 million expected loss, so an absolutely awful report. They missed their revenue expectations as well. They had $964 million in revenue compared to the $971 million expected. And to make it worse, Peloton has now cut their future forecasts as well. They are clearly not confident in their ability to continue to grow. Peloton stock has now dropped 17% on this bad news alone. It's now down 30% over the last week, 46% over the last month, 63% year to date, and 90% from its all-time highs. As I said, it's a complete dumpster fire. It was ridiculously overvalued and was the worst bubble around. Right now, though, with a share price of around $12, its market cap is just above $4 billion. And frankly, Apple, Amazon, and a bunch of other companies should be looking to buy Peloton. Apple, in particular, could almost definitely make it work. They have a history of incredible marketing of products as being better than they are, creating culture around them and making them really, really popular. This company really should just be sold off. There's no reason for it to remain public and independent. Apple, for instance, has enough cash to buy Peloton 40 times over. Now finally, in a little bit of random news regarding Elon and Twitter, there is lots of speculation about bringing back banned users. The biggest banned user, of course, is Donald Trump, the ex-president of the United States. It really doesn't get much bigger than that. Now people have been wondering for a while if Elon would unban Trump or if he would not. He came out and said recently though that yes he will remove that permanent ban. This isn't just that simple though. Trump runs and owns his own Twitter competitor called Truth Social, trading under the SPAC name of DWAC or Digital World Acquisition Corp. Now there is a lot of money at play there. There are billions of dollars of cash. Trump probably wants it to do quite well. It would make him a fair bit wealthier if it does do well. And he also said in the past that he is exclusively going to be on Truth Social. So maybe he sticks to that claim. Maybe he chooses to go to Twitter though. Frankly, I think that if he wants to be re-elected, I think he needs to be on Twitter because it's got such a huge user base, it's got such a huge reach, and it's very valuable for an election cycle. And I would guess that Trump will rejoin Twitter, but I can't say for sure. I just personally think that he clearly wants to become president again. And in my opinion, he has a better chance of achieving that on Twitter than on Truth Social. This is just something to look out for. No doubt there will be huge anger online if Trump does come back on Twitter. He's a very polarizing figure for obvious reasons, but be careful if you own DWAC stock then. If Trump abandons the project, the share price will tank, and that is certainly a possibility. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to bless the YouTube algorithm. If you want more content like this, then check out our Patreon and join our community of investors. You get access to our Discord server and exclusive content like insight into my portfolio and buy and sell alerts for all my own investments. Of course, make sure to check out the link in the description to Masterworks. It can help you protect your portfolio against market turmoil through fractional shares of art from world-famous artists like Banksy. Art has historically proven to be uncorrelated to the markets, so it's a really valuable resource with the markets, crypto, and stocks falling every week. There's also a link in the description to BlockFi, which will give you up to $250 in free Bitcoin when you use it. You can also get interest on your crypto, so it's earning you money while it just sits there. Thank you for watching. Stay stoic. Until next time.